Hi everyone, it's a new week and I have a new project for you, and as you already saw from my intro, the subject of this week is this curbside found little nightstand. It's a little bit taller than a regular nightstand, but it's still like pretty small, and as you can see it has lots of issues. So first things first, the back panel, it's missing. Bang. The hardware is missing, and my biggest concern and problem now is that also the trim around is missing these two small parts. And I already was to the hardware store and I picked up something that it's not quite exactly the same shape. It's a bit wider, but I think I can make it work. I can mask the difference so that at the end it's going to look just gorgeous. And this week, and this video, sorry, it's actually part of the challenge hosted by Seb's Rehab, and the name of the challenge is spring cleaning, and all the participants in this challenge have to refinish, repaint a piece that was found on the side of the street, or that was for free on the marketplace. So before even starting with the repair works, I will first thing first, I will remove this small chunk, and then I'm going to clean this really good because it's super dirty, it's gross. And I have to confess, it's been a while since I had such a piece in such a raw shape, and although it has so many issues, this cutie is so sturdy, it's well made, and I think I can make it a beautiful, desirable, and it's going to last for a couple of years more in somebody's house. So enough to chat, let's start working. So now I have some Dixie Belle's White Lightning already dissolved, prepared. I have this spray bottle only for this product. I'm gonna generously sprinkle it, and then I'm going just to scrub all this gross. It's just gross, guys, believe me. So here is also a piece of trim that is broken. So as you can see, I already put in place the missing trim, guys. This is not the perfect match, but I think it's pretty similar, and now I glued it in place. And once it's dry, I need to trim it a little bit because it's a little bit bigger than the other one. And then I will also have to do some refill, then to prime everything, paint, and it's done. While I was scuff sanding this piece, I noticed some more issues. So here is a chunk of loose veneer, and on the other leg it's this chunk is missing. So it seems that there is more repair works to be done. Now that all the repair works are done, it's time to apply some primer. I'm going to use Block Stain Primer by Dixie Belle in the color gray, and this is going to give me a nice and even surface for my paint. And I'm going to apply two coats, guys. I will do one coat on camera and the second coat off camera, and then I'm going to allow this to dry for about 24 hours, maybe a little bit less. I will let this dry overnight. After my primer dried, guys, I noticed some small cracks, as you can see here and here. So I'm going to apply again some acrylic. This is the one I'm using. It's just make sure this is paintable, and I will let this dry, and then we will be ready to finally paint. I'm gonna start with the drawers, and I'm gonna mist my brush a little bit, and also my surface. And I'm starting with vintage dark cake. I'm gonna put my lighter color on first of all, and then I will come back in with the darker color, which is Stormy Seas. Your first coat doesn't have to be perfect. Mostly of the time for me, my first coat is just to see where I like my colors, if I like the color combination. It's like a mock-up, so don't freak out too much. Overlap a little bit my colors here with my dedicated brushes. Now I'm gonna come back with a little bit of vintage duck egg. So one thing I can say, guys, this brush makes blending just easy peasy. I want this a little bit more darker around the edges, so I'm gonna add a bit more of Stormy Seas. I know it looks a little bit lighter on camera, but it's on camera it looks like it's almost one color, but I promise you it's not. And one more thing about blending, guys, sometimes you have to let your finish to totally dry before you can see if you need to do any touch-ups or not, because your blended finish is going to look differently when it's wet. So I will let this dry right now. It looks pretty good, and once it's dry I will see if I like the scheme or I need to change something. So first coat is nice and dry, guys, and when you are blending, I would recommend you to make sure that your paint first coat is totally dry before moving on to the next one, because when you are blending you are using a bit more water than usual, and you don't want your second coat to pull out the first one. So I'm going very lightly with like a 400 grit sanding pad, just to smooth a little bit any small imperfections, to make sure that my finish will be nice and smooth. A couple of weeks ago I posted a video. It's the little nightstand I did for my son's room, and I told you guys that that piece was my first blended finish, and that I was like so disappointed by the way that piece turned out. So I didn't try again for like 1 year to blend, and then I blended a huge piece. It was a huge dresser buffet. I'm going to try to put a photo, to insert a photo in this video. If I cannot, you can go and check my Instagram account. And I want to say that actually that first beautiful blended piece that I done was actually in the same color scheme. What a coincidence, isn't it? I really like, I just forgot how much I love this color combination. So I'm literally feathering the surface right now. I'm trying not to put too much pressure, and believe me guys, it's a matter of exercise, because I'm actually pretty heavy-handed, and when you are painting furniture you need to remember always yourself, don't put pressure, and it doesn't matter if you are doing one coat color or you are doing blending. Especially in blending you want to keep your hand as light as you can. It's very important. So remember I told you that I want to go a little bit crazier on this piece, so I decided to add a transfer. This is my first time adding, and I chose this Magnolia garden because it's spring and because I like magnolias, and I don't want to go too crazy, something very subtle. I already added like this leaf here, this magnolia, I ripped it a little bit, but I think I can fix that. And now I want to add one more leaf, and let's see if I want to add more, because as I said, I don't want to go too crazy on this. So it should look like this. I'm gonna take it off because it doesn't have its back yet, and it's a little bit wobbly. Technically you remove this back sheet and you put your transfer. What I really love about this transfer is that it's you can cut it in small pieces and just choose the design you want. I think this is pretty cool. You can create lots of different designs with this one, and it also comes in different shades. I chose something that has a little bit more of earthy tone, so it's green but more a little bit to the olive green. So you have to rub it. And you should make sure that your paint is fully dry before doing this, because otherwise you can scratch your paint underneath. Okay, I think it looks cute. And now it's time to add a little bit of gold and to work a little bit with some decor waxes. And I'm gonna start with some black wax. So I don't want to put any decorative waxes over the transfer, because it's too beautiful to cover it with wax. And now I'm gonna take microfiber cloth and just remove any excess. If you by mistake put too much wax and you cannot remove it with the microfiber cloth, just use some clear wax. It will act as an eraser. The decorative waxes, they add a little bit of depth and dimension to your piece, so just don't hesitate to work with them. And now let's add a little bit in the corners, because I this is where I will put some gold gilding wax, and I love how the gold gilding wax looks on top of the dark wax. And now let's apply some gold. The list of the products is going to be listed down below in the description, guys. I have an affiliate link for Dixie Belle's products, so if you want to buy some products, just please consider using them. It's not coming with any additional costs for you, but I will get a very small amount of money, so just a little support for my channel, but it's not mandatory. So as you can see, I added a little bit of gold gilding wax around, because I have here a little bit more. Now the idea is that the gold gilding wax is oil based, so just removing it with just my cloth, it's not going to work, and you will need wax. So I have just a tiny amount of furniture wax on this rag now. I always start to put a little bit more of wax to have a more even and consistent color in the middle, and then the more I go to the sides of this corner, I add a bit less, so that I will create a faded look. And now it's time to install the hardware. Guys, I got this off Amazon. I think these are 8 pieces, and I paid like about 11 or 12 euro for them. I always try to buy my hardware on Amazon because it's much cheaper. I think in a hardware store, I live in Germany, I would pay like 2 or 3 euro for one of these. So let's install them in place and see how they look. I didn't want them to be too big because the piece is pretty small, so I wanted something very nice and subtle. Beautiful. And we are done here, guys. As you can see, I have my assistant here, Tommy, the quality assurance manager. I wasn't able to replace the back because just for the sake of getting done in time this video, I didn't have any time to take a ride to the hardware store, but I will do it this weekend. And I think this piece is beautiful. You know what? This piece is far from perfect, but my goal wasn't to make it perfect. My goal was to make it beautiful, desirable again, and just to save it from the trash. So, if you guys like it, please give me some thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.